Hello everybody and welcome back to another weekly World of Tanks replay with me, David, and today I'm going to show you a triple header of gameplay in the M8A1 Tier 4 American Tank Destroyer. I play this tank because it's a nice kind of way to ease myself into my day of World of Tanks. Not because it's a easy tank to play, but for the fact that the matches are usually a little easier than normal because it is a tier 4, tier 5, sometimes even a tier 6 match. And well, I guess that's what we call seal clubbing, and I can explain that in further detail later if you so wish. But here we are on the Serene Coast map, and we're on the north side spawn, so I've gone over to the B5 area where there's some trees along this little ridge here that I can knock down, as you see, and this will give me a nice vantage point over the field side of the map. Now this is an all tier 4 match, so I am top tier and bottom tier at the same time. Now the M8A1 is a small, somewhat moderately tall tank destroyer, but it's got open top and it has a decent gun. But as you see there with the shot out the the P2640, the shell velocity is quite slow. But again, it has a decent gun. It is good accuracy and quite a powerful shell for tier 4. And it is a pretty fun tank to play. So we've got some tanks that have moved up the one line. But we have a nice front over there on the C line ridge with some tanks. And I'm just going to sit here in the trees and notice that there was nobody moving up the middle, so I decided to drop down to get into a better shooting lane. And then I see a T40 and a Lux just over in the little dips there with the rocks. So I'm looking for a spot of view on the T40, but there isn't one because he's behind that ridge. And I just have to be careful because I don't want to get spotted and killed by any tanks. Caught a little bit of an outline on the T40. I do get spotted, so it's time to get into some hard cover. So I'm going to drive down to these rocks here. Now Lux is most likely the tank that spotted me, so I'm going to try and get into a nice shooting position on him. As I peek around the corner, you can see he is looking my direction, so I got to be careful. But I do notice that we have a tank that has pushed around the other side, so I pop out, put a shot into him. He's turned his turret to chase down somebody else, and I take him out of the match. So that's kill number 1. Tier 4 matches are, well, some people who are more skilled in the game feel it is dirty and what they consider seal clubbing because the new players are considered baby seals and you're just beating them down because you have no way, they have no way to actually defeat you because you are such a better player than them. But the way I see it is it's a nice way to ease myself into the game. It doesn't always go well. I don't always win. But it does feel like a nice way to get your day started. You're not starting off at tier 10 automatically. You're easing your way in. So you can see there I took out the Hetzer, I took out the Matilda, and they took out the Lago. And it's time to finish moving up forward towards the rest of the team. We've pretty much won this now. It's 8-4. It's just cleanup time at this point. Now one bad thing about this tank, as I said, it is open topped as you can see. Makes it very susceptible to high explosive shells. And some of the tier 5s and tier 6 tanks that have the high explosive derp shells like the Panzer IV-H or the KV-2 or the M4 Sherman can really end up just destroying you in one hit. From full hit points to 0 in one hit. And artillery is also an issue for the same reason. I'm on my 3rd kill of the match, and we move on towards the artillery, so I'm going to just flank around the H line here. And I'm going to spot an artillery right there, the Sturm Panzer. Now you can see the crosshair changing from red to green there. If you didn't know, the game actually has the ability to notify you with your reticle if your shell will penetrate or not, depending on where you're pointing on the tank. If it's black lines like this, it means there's going to be no penetration at all. If it's green, it means good penetration, and if it's red, it means bad penetration. So you can see they're pointing at the front of the enemy M8A1. I had it green cross, which means I could definitely penetrate the front of his tank. He also can penetrate me, which is why I've fallen back a little bit, hoping to get some more damage on him. But I gotta reposition a little bit because the gun depression on this tank is not very good. And with the slope there, it pushed me up too high and I couldn't get down. I know he's still there. And there he is. He's fallen back. Use some auto aim. You can see it missed completely. And somebody else took him out of the match. I am on 4 kills. And all that's left is 2 tank destroyers and a light tank. And that means now we've got just 2 tank destroyers, which were last spotted over on the peninsula, over by our base. And now you can see the base capture timer shows 2 tanks in the base capture, which means they are both in the circle there. We've got an M8A1 and an SU-85B over there to help defend, and I decide at this point to go help cap their base because there's not much chance of me getting there in time. There's only 28 seconds. As long as we keep getting the resets, we should be good. Another downfall of this tank is the cornering is terrible, as you see there. I tried to hook a left turn and ended up driving up the slope, but I still managed to get into the circle, and we end up destroying all the enemy tanks. So here we are on Fisherman's Bay for the second match. Now these were all played, these 3 matches I'm going to show you today were all played in the span of about a half hour, back-to-back matches. I don't know why I was playing the M8A1 3 in a row, but I decided to give it a shot. And it turns out pretty good, I believe. Now another reason I like playing this tank is sometimes when you play Tier 8, Tier 9, Tier 10, you just, no matter what you do, you lose. It's not necessarily your fault that you lose. The team could just get stomped on or whatever. So I come back to these Tier 4s because the chances of winning are a little bit higher for me, I feel. And I guess that just means I'm just a bad higher tier player and a better lower tier player. I don't know. But I usually play the M8A1 and the T67 usually to start my day. And then if I have a very bad loss streak or I need a way to kind of reinvigorate my abilities, I come back and play these tanks in order to get I guess easier matches would be what I'm looking for, or maybe just the feeling of actually succeeding, and it kind of gets me back into that mindset, because I have always decided that if I do 5 losses in a row, I am stepping away from the game and taking a break. And well, if I come back and play the M8A1 or the T67, chances of me getting 5 in a row are very slim. So it kind of keeps me in the game a little longer, and I can play my 10 to 20 to 30 matches in a day. So I've come over to the one line here on Fisherman's Bay. It's one of my favorite maps to play. And you come up to this bush here, which is a really nice spot. You can see the enemy Lago has driven out into the open of the valley by the windmill. I put 2 shots into him. The second one didn't hit. You can see I've got a red and a green kind of cursor there, which meant I wasn't going to hit, but the shell must have dropped low, and we took out the Lago. Now I did get spotted because he did get a little close, so I'm waiting the usual 10 seconds in order to get back up behind the bush and to continue spotting. So there was the Hetzer. He strolled out around the corner, and he just got destroyed by our friendly Lux. There's a Panzer IV hydrostat just behind that pillbox over there, and I'm trying to sneak a shot through the window opening. You can see there, you can see a little bit of red behind it there. But you can see how big the dispersion circle is on my gun at that range, and it is just not gonna go through. I'd still try. Oh, that one did go through, but there was nothing there. I just saw a little puff of dirt from when it landed down behind it. So we've got 4-2 score, which is not bad. The heavies are looking like they're in okay shape. There's 2 versus 2. Having a chat with the DW2 on our team, he says he should die. And I'm kind of saying, well, you are in a DW2, which is terrible, terrible tank. If you've ever played one, you'll know what I mean. And I'm suggesting he free XP past it, but he doesn't have gold to convert. So the way free XP works is, if you don't know, is every match you play, you get a little portion, say maybe 2% of the experience you earn goes to your free experience pool. Now, when you fully unlock the tank, you make it elite, and you can still earn combat experience in that tank. But you can't use it in that tank because you've unlocked all the modules and the next following tank. So it just sits there collecting. Now, one of Wargaming's ways for them to make you spend money, real money, is to buy gold. And in order to convert that experience to free experience, you convert it with the gold. So usually there's a 25 free combat experience per 1 gold conversion rate, which is okay, I guess, but they often throw specials on as well where you can get 35 to 1 or even 40 to 1 depending on the event. Aiming up on that Matilda there, and I take him out with a nice shot to his face. Bounce the shot from the Lux, keeping me in the game. And you can see the heavies now have lost the 8-9 lines, and we're still trying to take out these guys on the south. I haven't noticed it at this point in the match, but there was that enemy Lux there, so I've put a couple of blind shots into the trees. I don't remember seeing if these actually went in or not, but you can see there's no puff of smoke or anything, which means it's either hitting the Lux or it's just going outside my view range because the dirt is on the other side of those bushes and I can't see it. So free experience, where was I? It's a way to research modules on a tank when you just unlock the tank, because a lot of people, when you get fairly far into the game, you hate playing tanks that are stock, so you'll use free experience to unlock some of the better modules in order to give your tank a fighting chance, because usually stock tanks are absolutely terrible. So you can convert combat experience for free experience on tanks that are elite, and well, that's just one of the ways Wargaming gets you to spend money. You can also, as I said, you get about 2% of it each match you play, which means if you want to stockpile a bunch, it's going to take you a long time. A good way to get around this is to play front lines, which usually gives you a decent amount of free experience, and with the frontline booster, a free experience booster, you can get even more. Now back to the match. So you can see that the enemies have pushed up the 8-9 line and started to capture the base, and there's only 4 of us left on our team, so we're down 7-11. The Turon's staying behind to take out the T-28 and the T-82 HMC. The Lux has moved up to the B1 spot, and I've moved up to E2 here, and I got nice shots on the KV-85 and the P-43. So I kill the P-43. We still have 1 enemy in the cap circle, so I'm trying to fire at the KV-85. He's behind those rocks. Don't really have a shot until he moved. There's the Matilda Black Prince. I'll take a shot and miss wildly. KV-85 gets taken out, and finally the T-40 in the cap circle gets spotted. I get the reset of 61 points. That's 2 shots into him. He gets taken out by the Matilda, and then I take out the Matilda Black Prince, putting me on 3 kills. The last remaining enemy is the M8A1. So we've pulled this back from a deficit of 4 to winning by 2. Who would have thought that would have happened? But in any case, that was a amazing turnaround in the game. With 1 enemy left, we need to figure out what to do. So we're going to communicate to the Turon to get into the cap circle to put pressure on the M8A1, because that makes it a no-win situation for him. He has to reset the cap in order to prevent us from winning, allowing us to know where he is going to be. So it's time to head south to get into a shooting lane in order to shoot at the enemy M8A1. I don't know what his health is at, but in any case, this match is pretty much ours at this point. Turon's in the cap. The M8A1 is going to be spotted, I believe, over in, yeah, right there, H6. He's out in the open, but he pulls back behind a rock or something, and I have no line of fire on him. But the Turon has no problem taking him out. Oh no, sorry, the Matilda has no problem taking him out of the match, and we win 15-12. And did a full 1,000 damage even. Alright, on to match number 3. Alright, so match number 3 is on one of my most favorite maps that I like in the game, Province. Really fun to play, and you can only see this map up until tier 6. But generally you see it in the lower tiers. It's a very small map, with the caps in the north-south and the spawns over in the southwest and northeast. So it has 2 high ridges on either side with a nice valley in the middle. Personally, when I play the south end, or I should say when I get the south end, I like to go across over to the edge of the map at J9 there. There's a little bush just around this corner of some rocks, which allows me to have a nice shooting lane up the 9 line without getting spotted. Now the M8A1 is not the best hill climber for tier 4. As you can see, it seems to be quite slow, being outpaced by the M3 Stuart and pretty much every other tank that's in the game at this tier, except the Matilda. The Matilda, of course, is probably the slowest. So the M3 Stuart's heading up to the same direction that I am heading. And if you're on the enemy team and you want to counter this spot, there's some stairs I'll show you a little bit later on that you could climb up and come around and meet the tanks coming up on this corner without being detected. So if you sit, most people sit up where that M3 was, right up against the bush, and they get spotted. But if you come back a little bit, I can shoot through the bush. You can see I've got a completely green reticle on that Type 91. And I've put 2 shots into him, no problem. And I move up a little bit to see if I can get a 3rd shot into him. He's basically a 1 shot now for everybody with only 22 hit points left. And he's about to die. Then, let's see here. Oh, oh. I track him. I track the SAL 40. And I take out the SAL 40 while the enemy T91 is taken out. And so, as you can see, I can see some pretty good stuff up on the side. So if you look where I'm going, here's the roadway with the stairs I was talking about. I'm going to do a dump move. And went down it all cockeyed and it injured my gunner. Nothing a little repair kit can fix. So yeah, so if you're on the northeast spawn, you can meet guys on that corner by going up those stairs. So there's a Type 1 T127. I've put 1 shot into him, 2 shots into him. He shoots me once for 46, and I'm going to put a 3rd shot and take him out of the game. That's kill number 2. So we're pushing up both sides of the ridges with the majority of the enemy tanks on the other side. I'm going to zip over to this corner here where there's rocks. I'm going to get spotted. Ooh, a little bit of stuttering going on, it looks like, in the video. Managed to kill the PZ-38T. And there's an M8A1 there from the enemy team. And I put a shot into him, taking him down to 141 hit points. I go in for another shot, but the B2 has decided to block all further attempts at me damaging any of the enemy tanks over there. I try to sneak a shot past the B2, but he doesn't let me go, but he gets killed quickly by the IKV-72, who I guess was spotted over in... oh, he hasn't been spotted yet. So we're up 10-6, so we've pretty much won this match as well. So I'm going to see if I can get some final bits of damage across the map, shooting to the other ledge area. Maybe another kill or 2, who knows. At this point, it's all basically just cleanup time, unless our team decides to YOLO majorly and gets hammered to death. But I seriously doubt any of that's going to happen. There's some good shots you can get from one side to the other, and I'm going to come over here and... oh, look, the M3 Lee is pulled back. Oh, there's a free kill right there. Only 17 damage, but still, it's a free kill. He did spot me, though, so I got to be careful. It's 12-6, so the enemy team has 3 tanks, and we have 6... now it's 12-7, so we did lose a tank. Tried the auto-aim all the way across the map. Just the Valentine 2 and the MTLS 1G14 remaining. We know where the Valentine was. We do know where the MTLS was last spotted. But with enough guys over there, we'll be able to figure it out in no time. So, it's just waiting game now, trying to wait and figure out where those last 2 tanks have been. Valentine gets spotted. He's only at 20 hit points and quickly gets dispatched. Now, at this point in the match, I'm pretty much thinking that the MTLS was on that ledge, but I think he's moved back. He's actually in A2, I believe. And he does get spotted, and I do have view range on him. It's a decent spot, but it takes too long to get to. And it's really pointless to go up there because you can't really do much other than block. And there he is. He's spotted up in E2. I zoom in sniper mode and take him out for 40 damage. And that is kill number 5. Another good match, third in a row for the M8A1. Let's check out those end plates. So for the first match, it was just a Mastery Badge second class with Fighter for the 4 kills and Fire for Effect for doing more than my hit points and damage. And of course, because we were platooned, we got the Brothers in Arms. The second end plate, again, once again, is Mastery Badge second class and Fire for Effect with 5,654 experience earned for the match. Only got 3 kills, but did the exact 1,000 damage. And for the final end plate of the third match, Mastery Badge second class once again, Fighter and Fire for Effect, 5 kills, 884 damage. It was a very good string of matches, very nice to play. It was a lot of fun to play those. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up down below. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, I release videos pretty much every week. So subscribe and click the little bell icon to get the notifications. And I will see you again next week.